Hey, my loves, it's Tiffany, the Miracles Coach. So, I wanted to come in and share today because I was doing some work this morning and I don't know, something just really started to stir in me and I wanted to share it with you guys because even though we have been talking about a lot of these different things already, I think that just making my point clear about this is really important because integrity matters so much to me in how I show up in this work. And when I talk about the Miraculous Millionaire journey, and it's funny because I think the reason why this is really stirring in me is because God has really been guiding me to switch up a lot in my brand. And it's so interesting because I'm typically not the person who talks about, well, I've always taught money. So I always talk about money. It's literally in my human design chart that this is something that I am just born to talk about and born to share. And it's probably why I've had so many struggles in my money journey and all of that stuff over the course of my life. When I talk about the Miraculous Millionaire journey, I'm not standing on the other side of it telling you how I got to that point, right? Like how I became a millionaire. I'm on the path right now still. I'm stepping into the identity. I'm doing the inner work. I'm learning from my mentors and other millionaires who are already there. And I'm sharing everything as I'm discovering it in real time. And yes, sometimes that feels really uncomfortable. Sometimes the imposter syndrome shows up and kicks in and asks, well, who do you think you are to be talking about millionaires when you haven't gotten there yet? And so I get that, right? I feel like, wow, I don't know that I'm comfortable, 100% comfortable talking about this. And then so what I was saying was like, God is even guiding me to change up a lot of my branding and stuff to this whole millions and miracles or miraculous millionaire. And I'm just like, okay, God. But what I do know, and this is why I chose to move anyway, is because I've learned that identity has to be stepped into before evidence arrives. Like you have to be the thing before the thing actually manifests. That's one of the biggest pieces, probably the biggest piece of manifestation that people miss. The embodiment of it. You have to step into it before you can actually see it. You have to be it before you see it, right? And so you got to believe it before you say all of those different things. And to me, it's faith, right? It's me demonstrating my faith. It's me saying, okay, God, I heard what you said. I received what you're saying. And now I'm going to step into that and act like it's already done, or live like and be like, right? Not even act like, be like it's already done, because it already is. If you said it, then it's already done. Now I'm just waiting for the reality to catch up. And that's what we have to understand, because everything is created in the spiritual realm. Everything is created in the 5D. So if we are already millionaires there, and I know that if this call is on your life, or you feel like this call is on your life, then you're already there. It's already there in the spirit realm. And you just have to allow it to catch up in the 3D. And the way that you do that is you get yourself on the timeline with it. You get yourself living in the frequency of it. You get yourself in the identity of it. And so that's exactly what I teach. This is also connected to how I am designed. As a 1-3 in human design, I am built to learn through direct experience, through living something before I can fully teach it. And it's like God is even putting me in this process now that I don't even get to wait until I fully come through it to teach it. I teach it as I go. Like when you're a 3 line in human design, basically what the 3 is it says, I learn through trial and error. I learn through taking action, and then I teach people, oh, well, this is an easier way to do this. I've tried it all the ways. I've failed many, many times trying to do this, and this is how I learned that it works best. That's basically how I teach everything. And when you understand your human design, it makes so much more sense, right? Because for me, I've gone through a lot of my life feeling like a failure, and I didn't realize that it was really just a part of my design. And it's not about the failure. It's like, it feels like that in the moment, and especially when you're not in a mind state, or, you're not in a headspace where you can really see it for what it truly is. To me, it looked like failure all of these years. But now in hindsight, it's like, oh, well, I was just learning that that wasn't the way to do it. And sometimes it's frustrating because it's like, well, God, why didn't you just show me the right way to do it in the first place? But even if God was showing me, who's to say I was listening? God probably did show me. He had taught me many times how to do things. And I still went off on my own way and did it my own way, because this is what we do as human beings, right? We pay attention to what everybody else is doing around us instead of paying attention to the voice within. And so the failures and all of the learning that I did and all of the trial and error I had to go through, it was research. And everything I bring to you has been something that I've lived and tested in my own life first. It's something that I have embodied first. And what I do is bring over a decade of experience helping women shift their identities and create real results from those shifts. So I've done it in my own life multiple times. I've shifted my identity. I've watched my life transform. I've taught my clients how to shift their identities, and I've watched their lives transform. And I know how identity works. Identity and embodiment is something that I specialize in. I'm a master at identity and embodiment. It's what I was basically created to do. And so I teach people how to step into the proper identity and how to embody their identity to achieve and receive what it is that they want. So I know how identity works. I know how surrender works. I know how God moves when a woman decides and she holds that decision with faith and devotion. Because see, that's the thing. Decision. And we've been talking about this a lot. If you've been listening to any of my previous Miracles Unscripted episodes, they're all about decision. It's literally the first step in which now is so funny because the manifestation process, I remember when I first created it, it was called the Miracle Activation Process. And then I just shortened it to MAP. But when I first taught it, it was a 30-day thing. So I just called it the 30-day map. But once I realized that, oh, well, this isn't a 30-day thing anymore. This is just literally like the manifestation process. What do I call it now? And nothing made sense because you can't put miraculous in front of map because then it's miraculous miracle. Like, you get what I'm saying? It just didn't make sense. But then when the millionaire thing came in, then it was like, oh, it's the millionaire map. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like God has literally shown me the rebranding of everything needs to be millionaire, which is so odd to me because, like I said, I'm not somebody who goes on social media and talks about how much money I make and how much money I have and all those different things. I usually stay away from that. And I stay away from people who do that because I don't tend to enjoy that kind of stuff. I care about how you can help me. And that's what I want to share with my people when they come into my space. I teach from stories and my own perspective because it's the only way I know how to teach. But I'm still teaching you something that I learned so that it can help you. So it's not that you can't tell me how much money you've made or anything like that. It's just that for me, I need to see more than just that being the bottom line to what you do. And some people are business coaches or whatever, so that is important in their brand, but it's not important in mine because I'm not teaching you anything about money specifically. I am teaching you how to create wealth, but through identity and embodiment, right? Not through, oh, we'll just do my little, 10-step process and my little paint by number system and my little cookie cutter approach, and you're going to be a millionaire just like me, or you're going to do this or that just like I did, or whatever. That doesn't resonate with me. So for me, it's all about identity and embodiment. And I know that that's something that I'm amazing at. I know that that's something I'm a genius at. It's my area of expertise. And so, no, I don't know everything there is about being a millionaire specifically, besides what I'm learning from my own mentors. What I know is how to step into an identity before the evidence is there. How to surrender the gap between where you are and where God is calling you to be, where God has called you to. And this is the thing. When God is calling you to something, you already are it, right? And I shared this in one of my, I think in the last surrender experience audio that I recorded, a part 2 of day 4. You're already encoded to be who you are. If you're called to be a millionaire, it's already in you. God already is literally encoded in your DNA, right? And so, and if you're a daughter of God, I really don't know how that's not possible for you, but I guess everybody has their own journey and I don't know how to make sense of all of that, and I'm not going to try. What I do know is that whatever God is calling you to, it's already in you. So whether he's calling you to be a content creator, a coach, a millionaire, a philanthropist, like whatever you feel called to, it's already in you, even if you don't know exactly how to do it yet. A business owner, entrepreneur, all that stuff. All that stuff is already in you. It's already encoded in your DNA. It's just like thinking that or saying that a caterpillar is not already encoded to be a butterfly just because it's on the ground right now. So on the ground right now, but it cannot not become a butterfly because it is encoded to do so. And that's exactly how it works with us. And so what I know is how to step into identity and how to surrender the gap and how to embody the woman you were created to be so completely that your reality has no choice but to catch up. So I'm teaching it while I'm living it, which means you do not just get like a framework, or you don't just get the polished up highlight reel when I've already become a millionaire, because it's happening, right? You get to see it in real time. Like, you get to see the real time proof of concept. You get to watch it happen and know that if it is happening for me, it's available for you too. It's so interesting because I was listening to somebody the other day. It was a YouTube video. And like I said, I don't listen to a lot of different people on YouTube, but I listen to specific people, right? People who really, really resonate with me. And what she was saying was, you are somebody who is going to trigger people into recognizing what's possible for them. And I've always done this. Even when I tell y'all, people be like, oh, well, you got a rich husband, da, 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 or you got a husband that makes a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. Okay, are you triggered by that? Because if you are, it's not a bad thing. I'm actually kind of glad that it triggers you, because maybe it will show you that if it's possible for me, and if it can happen for me, it can happen for you. Because I didn't just marry a rich husband. This was something this is a life that I created. And even if I did just, come from nothing and then marry a rich man, I still would have created that life. So any life that you want to create is possible. If you want a rich husband, you can create that life for yourself too. And if you need help on how to do that, I'm your girl. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that you get to choose what you want to do and who you want to be in this life. So I don't get triggered by stuff like that. I actually celebrate it. When I see somebody living a rich life, I'm like, oh, let me see how I can do that. And I mean, for me, it's just staying connected to God and really following the blueprint, the divine blueprint. Like I said, it's already all encoded in your DNA. You just have to follow the blueprint. So I want to model for women what it looks like to move, even when it feels messy, even when it's incomplete, even when it's not perfect, even when imposter syndrome is so loud and the evidence hasn't shown up yet. And you're just like, God, why are you asking me to do this? I don't feel ready. I don't feel like I've created enough in my business. I don't feel like I'm successful enough. I don't feel like I have the money. I haven't made enough in my business yet. I had all those excuses. And I would say years ago, but they've even been excuses more recently as well. Sometimes I still feel inadequate. But God is not going to just sit around and wait until you feel ready. He calls you into the being of it and asks you to trust him as you go through it. And that's the thing, because in the age of AI, and I've talked about this so many times, but I want to reiterate it here. Because in this age of AI, where everybody's doing the same thing, dancing around, saying the same thing, sounding like robots, it's not this, is that. Like, it's insane to me. And it's all starting to sound like a bunch of noise. And when you actually have all that noise going on, it's this kind of realness, this kind of vulnerability, this kind of boldness that matters more than anything else. AI is a tool. It's meant to enhance and support you in the work that you're doing in the world, not to replace your voice or replace you. So the women who stand out in this industry, as this continues to go on, like the people who are really going to stand out in this industry are the ones who show up as themselves fully, authentically, unapologetically, and sharing their real journey, the messy parts, the uncertainty, the being of it, the embodiment of it, the frustration of it, all of that, rather than the version of themselves that has to be perfect and polished into something that could have been generated by anyone. That is what I'm committed to, being 100% real about where I am, what I'm walking through, and what God is doing in my life in real time. Because that level of authenticity is not just refreshing, in my opinion. It's extremely rare in this season and in this industry. And it is what creates a real connection with the women who are meant to be in your world, rather than just an audience that consumes your content and then moves on. That is the heart of this and everything I do. So if anybody comes across my channel, or if you're somebody who's listening and you're like, well, Tiffany's not a millionaire yet, why is she teaching this? Or why is everything in her branding now saying millionaire, yada, yada? It's because I believe in identity, right? And like I said, I'm really good at identity. So if I know that the process of being a millionaire means, or becoming a millionaire, quote unquote, because I don't believe in becoming, I tell you guys that all the time, but let's just use it in those terms. If I know that the way to become a millionaire is to be it first, is to step into the identity first, then I'm going to step into the identity in every way possible. It's interesting because I was listening to one of my mentors recently, and she's actually already a multimillionaire, and so her next level is a billionaire. And I'm going to tell you who this is because I want you to see how she's modeling it. So Kathleen Cameron, I don't know if you know her, but if you don't, you should. Kathleen, she signatures everything with KCM, right? And that means Kathleen Cameron Millionaire. And then she started, once she made the choice she was becoming a millionaire that year, she did it in 7 months, okay? And now that she's already a multimillionaire, she signatures everything KCB, which is for Kathleen Cameron Billionaire. So no, she's not a billionaire yet. And actually, she just recently taught a course, which is so funny because she taught this, or was talking about this right around the same time that I started talking about millionaire. And she was saying, I'm not a billionaire yet, but I'm on the frequency, right? I'm moving in the identity of it. Like, I'm stepping into that identity. And so she's doing it publicly. And I think that's really important because, like I said, when you get to see the rawness of it and the realness of all of it, it really matters. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with learning from somebody who's already a millionaire. I mean, I'm doing that. I'm learning from tons of millionaires. But what I'm saying is that when you actually get to walk through the process with somebody, it's so, so valuable, because somebody can tell you how they did it from the other side, but you didn't get to see all of the hard parts and the messy parts. And they may share some of it, but they can't share all of it because they probably don't even remember most of it. Like, most of that stuff is a distant memory. Once you hit the goal, you're like, oh, I'm a millionaire now. I don't care about any of that stuff that I struggled through before. But when you are going through it and you're going through the actual real-time struggles and people get to see that, to me, it's so much more valuable, because people get to see that it's not always perfect and that it can be messy and that you can still accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. And that's what's so important to see. So why I mentioned Kathleen too is because one of the things that she said in that billionaire thing that she was teaching, and I was so sad when I went back to YouTube and realized that it was gone, because I was like, oh, I really wanted to watch that again. But one of the things that she said was, when you decide that you want to be a piano player or a basketball player or an artist, whatever, if you decide that you want to be something, an author, a coach, you have to decide that you are the thing. Because a lot of times what she was saying was like, do you wait until you perfectly know how to play piano to call yourself a pianist? Or do you just practice until you become one and just take on the identity ahead of time? And maybe that also factors into who accomplishes the goal and who doesn't. Like, maybe somebody who doesn't consider themselves an author or a pianist or a basketball player or whatever until they actually become good at the thing would be what's stopping them from getting there. Maybe taking on the identity, or not maybe, definitely, right? Taking on the identity of the thing first and then practicing until you get great at it is how you become the thing. And so what she was saying was, in her world, and it would be the same in mine, all we're doing is practicing how to be a millionaire until the reality catches up. I'm already one. So she was saying, I don't really love the concept of acting as if or any of those things. It's just practicing. And I love that because, and I don't actually say acting as if either. I say living as if or being as if, because you just be the damn thing, right? Like, you don't wait for it to happen, or you don't wait for some kind of particular standard to be met, or like quota or whatever to be met. You just be the thing. And so it's not about acting as the thing. Like, it's nothing wrong with acting. Sometimes you do need to dress up and act, I guess, or whatever. You can pretend, but you could just also be it. And so that's what the key is in this process. And that's what I teach people how to do. I teach people how to be whatever it is that they're trying to be. I can teach them how to step into an identity of something, even if it's not something I've actually done yet or that I'm interested in doing, just because I understand identity and how it works. So that's why I always say I don't believe in becoming. I only believe in being, because I don't need to become something that I already am. There's no way for me to become something that I already am. I just already am it. So I just be it. And I just choose that timeline. I just choose that frequency. I'm being it. I am it. I am a millionaire already, even though that money hasn't necessarily hit my account yet in the 3D. But in the 5D, I'm already living my millionaire life, right? And then I live that out in my reality every day in different ways, by the actions I take and the decisions that I make and the things that I do and all of those things. And just like I told you, even in the last audio that I just recorded for you guys, I was saying, I was praying a bold prayer, because I said, okay, God, well, if you said this is a year of millions and miracles, and this manifestation I got in March ain't nowhere close to that, let's go bigger. Because if you're saying that this is the year of millions and miracles, then I'm expecting greater. I'm expecting more. I'm expecting bigger. So me knowing that I am a millionaire already, even though I don't see the funds in my account yet, made me more bold in asking God for something bigger, because now I realize, well, if I'm a millionaire, then I don't have to settle for these amounts anymore. I can ask for more because I'm already it. And once I really fully step into it, then it'll just be here and I won't even have to ask for it anymore. But in the process of me getting there, that's one of the ways, by asking, by declaring, by being bold in my prayers and saying, okay, God, well, show me more. Show me what else I need to do to make more possible. Give me the exact blueprint to these millions. So all of that to say, I really believe that that's why God is calling me into this. And that's one of the main points I want to make sure that you understand. I've created a lot of wealth in my life. I get paid to exist. I don't have to work hard for money, because money's always working hard for me. I don't really have to work at all for money, because it's always flowing to me in countless ridiculous ways that I can't even explain sometimes. And so I just want people to see that this is how you call it in, and this is how you make it happen. You be the thing first. And that's the thing, because then somebody might say, well, why don't you have the millions yet if it's so simple, or if it's so this or so that? Well, what it is that I never gave myself permission up to this point to claim the millions until within the last like couple months. And it wasn't until I really heard God say it. Like I said, my coach has been teaching me this since May, and it really didn't really catch on for me. Like I was trying to feel it. I was like, yeah, millions. But it was just something that I had just placed on this. It's almost like, and I think we all do this in a lot of ways for a lot of different things, but I kept placing it on a future timeline. I kept thinking, okay, this is a someday thing, a one day thing. Like eventually this is going to happen for me. Like I know it's meant to happen for me because like I said, it's already encoded in my DNA. I already know I'm going to become the butterfly. I just felt like the butterfly was off in the distance, off in the future. And I was not seeing it as a possibility or an option that I could just choose now. And so I've been studying millionaires. Like everybody that I follow pretty much is a millionaire. And I've been studying these people and learning from them and paying attention to everything they say and do. And what I realize is that all of them say the same thing. It's just something that you choose. You're just choosing to be her now. And when you do that, once you decide that I already am it, that this is the life that I'm choosing, that this is who I am choosing to be now, not later, not off in the future, not by December, not at the end of the year, not before 2027 or after 2027 comes, now. And the 3D has no choice but to catch up. Yeah? So I just wanted to share all of that. Like I told you guys, and it's funny too, because I've been rebranding, like I said. So the Millions and Miracles realm is now called the Miraculous Millionaire realm. This morning, I just got the download to change it. And so here we are. So the Miraculous Millionaire realm, because I really think it's so important. Like I love millions and miracles, and I probably talk about that all the time. But the Miraculous Millionaire realm is more like for the identity, right? We're stepping into the identity and the frequency of the millionaire. So it's bigger than just millions and miracles because it just sounds cute and catchy. But the Miraculous Millionaire realm, that's where we step into the identity and the frequency of the millionaire now. It's not just about calling in millions and miracles. It's actually stepping into the Miraculous Millionaire identity. So I would love if you join me there. We're going to talk about who you are as the miracle and then how you create what it is that you want to see based on those things. So like I said, with Miraculous Overflow, we're basically going to be getting so filled up by God that we just overflow into the lives of others, because it's really just that simple. Working in this industry and working in this business and having a coaching business or having some sort of creator type business, that whatever it is that you feel like you're being called to do, is not difficult. I think that we just make it difficult because we're busy looking around all over the internet and listening to people's advice to go to Chat GPT and type this in and all of that. It doesn't take all of that. If you really spend your time with God and you really allow yourself to be there until you're filled up, you're just going to automatically overflow. There's really nothing else that could happen. You're just going to start to overflow into the lives of others. That's literally how I started this. Miraculous provision, being sustained and supported by the source of all things and knowing with certainty that you are. Miraculous design. We look at your human design and find out exactly how God created you so that you can flow in that and you can also live from that place in everything you do, including your work. So instead of chasing results, you just become the woman who naturally commands them. Yeah? So this space is going to expand and evolve over time, and new teachings are going to be added, and every piece that God adds, I feel, to this collection is just going to be another piece that you can continue to use to be the woman that God created you to be, and whatever that looks like for you. Yeah? So I'd love to have you in that space with me if you feel called. I have the links and everything that you'll need in the description. And I can't wait to see what you create from this, where you go from this, if you decide to be a part of this world and to go on this Miraculous Millionaire journey with me, because I believe what God said to me when he first gave me the download, like, this is your year for millions and miracles. I want you to take as many women with you on a journey as you can. And I feel like God always says that to me, even when I started the surrender journey or when I first started teaching about manifestation or money or any of those things. It was always take as many women on this journey with you as you can. Whoever will listen, whoever will come, I want you to take those women with you. So if this is for you, you'll know if this is for you because you'll feel called to it. It'll feel like resonance. It'll feel like a divine assignment, a divine appointment. And I am so excited to welcome you when you're ready. So like I said, all the links will be in the description. If you're enjoying seeing content from me, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, all of those things so you'll know when I upload another audio. All right. Until then, I hope you have a beautiful, extraordinary, miraculous day. I will talk to you guys soon. Love you so much. Mwah. Lots of love and miracles.